Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Nico's World here, back with another Tekken 8 video. And today we're actually not going to talk about my boy Lars here today. We're actually going to talk about another character that I actually really do like. You saw the title of the video. We're going to talk today about Reina. So as I said before, you saw the title of the video. I think Reina is probably currently right now in Tekken 8 the weakest character in the game. Now, I'm gonna go and explain this further as to why I think this is. I'm not just gonna, say claim something and then not have proof or at least show some evidence to back it up. So, without further ado, I'm just gonna get into it as to why I think Reina, as cool as she is, but unfortunately is very, very weak in my opinion and just lacking compared to the rest of the cast. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. Okay, so one way I'm gonna start this off is I'm just gonna start off with her lows, right? Reina has some of the worst lows in the game. Like they're pretty bad. And why do I say this? Because a lot of her lows, they are minus on hit. The majority, most of them are minus on hit, or launch punishable on block. Like for example, her down back 2. That is -3 on hit, and it's supposed to. It's It's not the fastest either. It's 20 frames. And it's -3, so she kind of gives up her turn when she hits you with this. She doesn't get anything off a counter hit either from this. Let me show you. Where is it? Oh, there. Excuse me. Yeah, so nothing off counter hit, no reward, nothing. She just completely just gives up her turn off this. She gets a little bit more damage, but that's nothing. And the craziest thing about this load to me is that this is launch punishable on block. That is -16 on block from just a regular low poke. I don't know why. I don't know what they were thinking when they made this launch punishable. She gets nothing from this on hit. So why would you make this launch punishable on block? So that makes no sense to me. That low is just terrible. She has her Sentai 3+4. She gets nothing off of counter hit from this either, and it's only +4. It's not super plus, but it's plus. But again, this is horrible on block. This is -29. So if this is blocked, you are absolutely going to get killed for this. So that's another thing with her. This is from her Sentai stance. So not the best lows with this character. She doesn't get the best frames from it, and they are very, 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 very punishable on block. So I don't know why they made her. I mean, you can make a character not have the best lows, but I think that's taking it too far. I think, like with this low, I would absolutely change this. I don't know why they made that launch punishable on block when it's -3 on hit. That doesn't make any sense. I would change the frames on this completely. I would make this either way safer, or make this plus or something, or make it at least neutral on hit. This has no business being -3. That's ridiculous. Another thing is her tracking. Her tracking is god awful. So if you've ever fought a Reina, you know that Reina players, what they like to do, and I've been playing Reina as well, and I do the same thing. Her 4-4-2, right? You've seen this move. You've seen Reina players do this move over and over again, right? Now, her options from this are not the greatest. Unfortunately, her Sentai stance is not that scary. Let me fix that. Hold on. So this is our 4-4-2-3. It's +1 on block. It's a high. It's a heat engager. It is homing. So the homing is there to stop you from stepping. But it is a high, and you can absolutely get launched if your opponent ducks that. It is her fastest move from this stance, but again, it's not the best. And if you use this and abuse this too much, your opponent will duck it and they will kill you for this. You do have mids from this. But all of her mids from her Sentai stance is either linear or interruptible. So let me show you what I mean. Actually, let's just take away heat. No heat. So let me show you. So those are just some mids from her stance. So let me show you. You see, I'm just tapping it. I'm not even sidewalking. I'm just tapping. Yeah, that is very bad. You could juggle her out of that. You don't have to respect that. There's just I mean, again, it's her 4-4-2 is not the only option to get in this stance. There are other ways, but if this character wants to try and create some pressure, she is taking some level of risk because that's a high, and if she does that on block, the mids are all steppable or interruptible. But yeah, that's one thing. She does have her hell sweep, which is okay. It resets to neutral if you don't go into stance. This is her Heaven's Wrath stance. She has a safe mid heat engager 15 frames from this, which isn't bad. She has this high option, which is decent. It has a counter hit property that guarantees her Sentai for 3. So that's not bad. So there are some things that I'm not gonna say this character is just straight up garbage. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that compared to everybody else, she is lacking. Because some of these characters have ridiculous stuff. Some of these characters are definitely going to need nerfs, but Reina the frames it's the proof in the pudding. The frames are just not there for this character. From her Sentai stance, she does have a power crush, but that is -16 on block. It is delayable. It is very delayable, and it is chunky for 37 damage. But the risk you're taking if this is blocked is just insane. It's a very bad it's almost kind of not worth it because you really don't get anything off of this. It's not a launcher. It's just chunky flat damage. There's not really anything you get off it, and the risk you're taking is kind of ridiculous. So that's one thing from her Sentai stance. She does have safer options, like I said, her 2, this is safe, -4. It's only -4 on block, so that's not bad. Yeah, so that's one thing. And let me show you another thing with her tracking. So she also has this move, her forward, forward, 1+2. Now, the tracking on this is not good either. Yeah, you could step. Oh, I was too slow on that. Yeah, so a lot of these things from her stances are not the best. It's not that scary, and the low from this is launch punishable on block. It is chunky for 51 damage, but you only get that on counter hit. It has to be a counter hit. That is not a normal hit. That has to be a counter hit. And guess what? This is just another reason why our lows are so It's -3 or 4 on hit. So meaning that your turn is done. Pretty much. That's kind of crap. That's not good. I mean, it is a long range, it is a roll from long range, I guess. It does have some range to it, but again, to be -4, I don't know. That's kind of ridiculous. I mean, I guess to balance it out, the counter hit property is very damaging, but still, it's just not the best. I mean, and you do want to mix it up, I guess, with the just forward 1+2. But this is a -11 on block. But I mean, just overall in general, this character is just very punishable on block most of the time. A lot of her stuff is either -14 to -16 and up. Her lows are garbage. Her tracking is not good. She has back 2, which is a homing move, a nice homing move, 16 frames, but it is. It pushes them away. I mean, you're +3, but you really can't use this +3 because it pushes them so far back. Like, I mean, if they don't move, if they don't backdash, then the down forward 1 will connect to, use those frames, but literally a simple backdash beats the down forward 1. So if you do this and they backdash, you whiffed, and technically you kind of gave up your turn because you whiffed. So this move, I don't understand why it has so much pushback on hit. I don't know why it pushes them so far away. They should change this and make the opponent closer or something. I don't know why it pushes them so far back, because she really can't use those frames off of this move. So I don't know why they gave this move so much pushback. If you're, playing the poking game and you use this to stop them from stepping you, it pushes them a little too far away. So I think they should change this. But yeah, Reina is just her frames are just very bad, man. Her frames are very bad. Her tracking is bad. Her lows are garbage. That's probably the worst thing about this character. Her lows are absolute trash, because the moment she hits you with a low, more than likely her turn it's your turn. Like, and again, some of these lows are launch punishable on block, which does not make any sense. Like, this one makes no sense to me. I have no idea why this is launch punishable on block. That makes no sense. If you're gonna have this at -3, make this this should be while standing 4 at best for a punish. This should not be. That's ridiculous. This I would absolutely buff that low. She requires execution, and she requires a lot of brain power. She really is heavily dependent on the user, because Reina is not going to carry you. You have to carry her. So what I mean by that is, you have to think about every single move that you do before you do it. You kind of have to think 10 steps ahead of what you're gonna do before you do it. So like this, do I want to do the high or do I want to do the mid? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? Like Reina kind of really, she's not gonna hold your hand. She's not gonna, you know, she doesn't. This character doesn't play herself. It's up to you to be creative on how you use her, and that in itself can be difficult. Because you don't have the best frames, you don't have the best tools, at least not as good as some other characters, which is, you know, that's part of the game. Is there's just bound to be other characters that are, you know, stronger than others. But Reina just seems to be lacking in a lot of ways more, probably way more than others, I'd say. But yeah, she really is dependent on the user, requires execution. You have to really, you know, apply this character correctly, and yeah, I think she's the weakest character currently right now as of Tekken 8, on paper at least. Her frame's not there, her lows garbage, her tracking's bad. Not saying that, you know, I'm not saying that she's useless, because I mean I've won matches with her. You know, I've done well with her so far, but and I plan on posting that video very soon. But again, Reina, you have to have a strong sense of Tekken fundamentals. You have to have a strong sense of poking and sidestepping, you know. You have to really think about what you're gonna do before you do it, and you know, your movement needs to be on point, your punishment needs to be on point, your poking needs to be on point with this character. So you don't have this Reina is lacking. She is lacking. She is lacking in a lot of ways. I don't even think her heat options are the best either. Like, she gets this as one of her heat options, which I guess is okay. It is chunky. It does do a lot of chip damage, but there's characters that have way stronger heat options than this. This is just not that big a deal, and it eats a decent amount of her heat. Also, her heat smash is yeah, I think it's the slowest in the game. It is very slow. I mean, it has a lot of range, but it's 21 frames, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, it's 21 frames. That's definitely on the slower side compared to everybody else. Other characters have heat smashes that are within 15 to 14 frames, to 13 to 10 frames. Hers is 21 frames, so hers is very slow, or it's on the slower side compared to others. And again, it's just one of those things where I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm not saying that it's something you can't use and utilize correctly, but compared to others, she is not keeping up, is all I'm trying to say. She is lacking a bit too far, is what I'd say. I think she needs some buffs. I definitely think she is. She needs to be at least in the conversation of buffs. Starting with some of her lows and her frames. I would absolutely buff this low. I would buff this low. I'd probably buff this mid. I don't think I'd make this -11. Because if you're gonna keep this low at -4 and launch punishable on block, I'd probably make this mid safe at -9. Because another thing about her forward 1+2 is that it doesn't grant you anything on counter hit. There's no counter hit property to this mid. Ultimately, I would probably buff that mid. I don't think it should be -11. I would just make it safe. And the reason being is because you don't get anything off a counter hit or normal, like you don't get it. You get nothing off of this. You just get plus frames, which is, you know, is all well and good. But why is it punishable? So I would just make that safe. Um, um, but I mean, that's a whole other conversation of, as you know, what I would change about the character specifically. That's a whole other thing. Today, I just wanted to showcase some of the reasons why I think Reina is one of the weaker characters in the game. She has to, because this character, you have to really think about how you're gonna move, what you're gonna do. You know, sidestepping, poking, punishment. You know, you really have to think 10 steps ahead of not only your opponent but your own character, and how you utilize the tools that you have at your disposal. But you know, let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments. You know, if you're struggling against Reina, if you're having no problems with Reina, let me know what you think of Reina Mishima and how you feel about this character. Some are free to disagree, but it's just a conversation. You know, I think she's the one of the weaker ones, and maybe the weakest one at this moment, just because there's so many other characters that have so many crazy things, so many crazy stuff, and it's becoming more and more clear on who is ridiculously strong and who is on the weaker side. As time goes on, and I think Reina is definitely in that conversation of the weaker ones. As cool as she is, I do think she is one of the weakest characters in the game right now. But that's going to be the end of today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.